Sweet, we're live. All right. What's up, everybody? Let me just pause this here. Okay. Hope everybody's doing well. Overnight, BTC dropped all the way to, look at that, all the way to 106K BTC. I think around $100 billion got liquidated last night. Or it maybe happened some other time of the day for you. BTC is pretty much just always stuck in this range, and I mean, nothing really changes. Let me just put on the line chart. Yeah, if unless we close below 106, that's all still merry and great. Lots of people are talking about the 50-day moving average. I'll just plot it on the line. I don't care much for moving averages, but Ben Cohen, I think it's one of Ben Cohen's favorite moving averages. Let's just plot that up there. This is on the weekly, obviously. So as you can see here on the line chart, every time it got really close. Closed a few times early in the bull market. This is currently at 100,000 US dollars. So we do have the monthly close this month, and we'll just put up the line chart or the candlestick chart to take a look at that. If we want this candle to close positively or green, in this case my candles are blue and white, just to remove biases, it has to close above 14,000, right? That's a lot of work to do. Yeah, let's close these. I'm gonna put up the indicators. Now, I've been watching this monthly chart, and this bottom one is a willy. It's just a faster moving RSI. It's much like the stochastic. But if we compare these two to previous cycles, this was it looks a lot like the, let me just see there, -1 and 0. So I was actually higher here, whether this was lower. But if you look at the moving average, this holds the support until it breaks. And if we go up, I'll just put it on the log scale so we can actually see what's going on there. You know, when this, it finally, what I'm talking about is it falling below that moving average on the monthly. So the monthly close is today, and it is actually below that moving average. It did close below it previously, but this will be another close while printing bearish sell signals here. So, I mean, we'll see how this candle closes, but it looks extremely precarious here. It looks the exact same as the 2017 top. Now, the positive thing about the cycle that we had here, it was very sustainable, very contained, not only to the upside but to the downside candles as well, which gives me a little bit of hopefulness. As you know, if you get major blow off tops on assets, they tend to do violent retracements, whereas we have not really had that at all this cycle. You know, hopefully there is still that one expansion to the upside to 150, giving us that blow off top. If we do move it to 150, let's see where. That's interesting that this coincides, and if that goes all the way to 150 and we do a retracement to the 61.8, that is exactly where the previous all-time highs were. But I wouldn't put too much on that analysis, because if we look at what we did in the previous cycle, we actually traded below the previous all-time highs. So you would expect that to happen again. But people will probably say, you know, retailers are here, or institutions are here. We are never having large retracements like we had in previous cycles. But then I would just refer you to what happened a few weeks ago. I don't know if it's a few months ago, but these massive liquidation events that happened, right? Like, why did we have these insane liquidation events if the institutions are here? So we do have the monthly close and the indicators don't look great. Not only that, you've got massive divergences firing up here. Now, they're not confirmed yet. These do take a very, very long time to confirm. There's also not a high printed here as well. So we still have that. We're having a good little bounce today. But if we look at the indicators here, these are bearish divergences. Because let me just show you. This Willy is trading above the previous peak, and if you look at the price action, the peak is all the way up here. So that's a hidden bearish divergence. That's what happens. The trend is still down, and when you get fast moves like these from the lows, you form bearish divs and just ammo for the guys to short. And if I was to short this, I don't even think it goes all the way up to 12. If I do get 12k, I'll short this down to, a trade like that. 1.5% risk, so I can use leverage at 3% or 3x leverage on that trade. It's actually interesting now that we go live. We have this heading up higher here. So these divergences on the 1 hour has been cancelled, which is good to see. But then again, this fast move is exactly what the bears wanted to see. Look at these bearish divergences on this bounce here. Hidden bearish divergences, but that's what you need. Hidden bearish divergences indicate trend continuation. So where is the previous I can actually pull this fib from up here. Let's just look at that. Very, very close. There's another short here, right here. And traders, as a trader, you just continue with the trend until you're wrong. This is also a V bottom, which is good. If we do roll over here and start visiting these highs, we can maybe make a W and W out of here. Let's quickly, we talked about the monthly, although there's really the saving grace here is there's no real market structure for a breakdown here, and that is at 108. If something catastrophic happens here and we get that breakdown close below 108.269, then maybe you have a case for bearish market structure, right, on the monthly. But it seems like it's not going to be happening as we have a bounce now, unless they really, really start reversing it here now. But these are still higher lows on the candlesticks, still, or the line chart and the candlesticks. So at least that's pretty good. But you're gonna have to start clearing like at least this and this. And you'll just, as a trader or intraday trader, you just watch these. I don't like this V bottom at all. A fast move like this will just pile up the hidden bearish divergences. Won't go too much onto the other charts. Let's look at some of the news that happened recently. Fell all the way to 106. I don't know if this is up to date. How much got liquidated? About 1 billion. Coinbase, let's actually look at the Coinbase chart. They seem to have gotten really good news here. Where's Coin? Down 5% on the day. Oh my word. So collapsing on good news here. Coinbase reported Q2 2025 revenue of 1.87 billion, a 55% increase. And the market is down. It seems like pre-market it's up slightly. And we need these exchanges to make money, right? For a little bit of hope that the bull market continues. Dogecoin is up on the day. Let's see what the dollar has been using. The dollar is literally again about to break out here. That's your breakout level. Let's see what it looks like on the weekly. It's not the cleanest candlestick patterns, but Yeah, also the line chart I'm not a huge fan of, but you do see the W there, right? This indicator makes it easy. It shows you the low, the high, the low, and now higher highs. So that is technically a change of trend on the weekly, and it's been a very long downtrend for the dollar. Let's see what the monthly is saying. So you can see the clear little W on the monthly there. Still hasn't broken out above 100. Let's see what Tether is doing. Down 5% on the day. Just remove this. Really doesn't tell us much, right? On the monthly here, there's your low, there's your high, and we haven't really broken that just yet. There's another low printed here and another high. So there are W's inside of W's, but these are pretty much your breakout levels unless we start closing candles above there. We can't call a macro top in crypto just yet. Remember, this is the inverse of our favorite tokens, right? If this goes up, crypto tokens don't do well. As if people flee into these things. I mean, there's so much W's here. If I'm looking at it right now, maybe that's not valid. These are large time frames, right? Let me just see what these indicators are saying. I mean, incredibly oversold at the bottom here. Like, these are macro lows for these things here. It's not great. So even though Coinbase has making a lot more money than it has in the past, this is not great. What's up, Red Squirrel? Ethereum's getting an upgrade for December. They've confirmed the hard fork, boosting scalability, ETH demand. Cooled slightly post US election. You remember that he has bought Ethereum and we hardly even broke all-time highs. If we look at the gas here, I mean, would you have ever thought that we would see Ethereum gas fees this low? Top users are stablecoin. Top gas users are stablecoins. Circle MEV bots. To do a swap is 30 cents on Ethereum. This is Hyperliquid, obviously a leverage trading DEX, and if we look at these, this shows the people that make the most money, the P&L, profit and loss distribution in real time on Hyperliquid. And if we go to Artemis, we can see the amount of fees Hyperliquid is generating per day, $3 million in the last 24 hours. This is just spells like end of cycle gambling, you know, as the most profitable protocols in crypto is leverage trading. You know, it's like all of, and look how far Solana has dropped off. Solana's only making $1 million fees overnight. BNB chain just below it. If we go on to GoPulse, I think I actually looked at how much. Oh yeah, we can see here how much fees we made, and we can compare it to the other things. You know, Pulse Chain's not even showing up here. If you look at this, GoPulse yesterday, just try and get it on yesterday. 280, so 400 million PLS was paid out to the validators. That's how much fees are being generated on Pulse Chain. Let's just actually see how much that is. 450, right? Yeah, 430. 430 million PLS was paid out to validators yesterday. 430. Yeah, that's really sad. That's only $1,300. Then that is split up between all of the validators. Let's see. here are the validators. So the validatorstore.com earns 65% of those fees. So that's like $800 or like $700 that these guys got. 34,000 of them. But the current APR is 9% on the amount that you're staking. So if you've got $1 million staked, you're making $1 million worth of PLS staked. You're making like 100,000 in a year. It's not bad, but it's not great compared to all of these other things. So if you go back to the hyperliquid gamblers, and you know, if you're a bull here, you're pretty much on the side of the retailer, right? Because the most profitable guys, which is these $100 or $1 million and plus profitable traders, you know, the vast majority of them are bearish. You know, they've only got 1.6 billion worth of long positions and $3 billion worth of shorts. So they're overwhelmingly bearish. Smart money, these guys that have made 100K to $1 million in profits, they're also slightly bearish over here. And then all of these guys, like at the bottom, like look at these guys that have lost millions of dollars, they're all very, very bullish here. But that brings us to the fear and greed, right? This is probably the most bullish thing we can find here on the charts. Although previous bottoms came in at like 19, where everybody was fearful. And the contrarian in me, you know, wants to be bullish here as everybody's fearful, everybody is kind of giving up, right? Everybody is extremely scared, they don't know what to do. But this is an extremely tough market currently. It is very, very hard to trade. It's just been incredibly choppy, and everybody's getting chopped up left and right. So yeah, it is tough out there, and I have sympathy for everybody else. It's probably best to just sit out at the moment and not trade these things too much. We've looked at the gas fees, incredibly low, and let's quickly compare the gas fees here. I don't even think we're cheaper than, you know, why is the website not working? Come on. Hopefully if I do that it works. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we are not cheaper than ETH. Send native gas. We are cheaper than Bitcoin. Cheaper than Zcash, cheaper than Bitcoin Cash, cheaper than Doge. Let's pull up the crypto bubbles. Let's see if there's anything that's doing well right now. Oh man. Some of the altcoins some of the meme coins were doing well. I just saw them shelling this KitKat, like top influencers like KitKat. Here we go. I mean, this is being shilled by Win and that terrible altcoin trader. Oh my word. And Bitlord. Just absolutely wrecked. How high did it go? Like this is how sudden. This is the 1 hour chart. This is the Solana trenches. Like there's nothing going on here. Just destroyed. Like they've had hours and hours of spaces on this thing, and it's just absolutely wrecked. You can check out the KOLs here. Top traders. I mean, these guys aren't really even making that much. Spent 84K. It's more than a 2x, but that's a lot. Oh, but look at this guy, my word. That's good, 1,700. So I don't know what the story is here. I think like someone's cat probably died. Poor thing. Yeah, fear and greed, this is our only hope. Maybe get a wash out like all the way to 19, but that would mean at least another dip for us to get like extreme fear. Like the low was at 15 down here. And that gave you our bottom here, right? This is the Bitcoin price in gray. That actually got our bottom in here. So the ETF inflows, let's check out. I see Solana is here. So that only came out the 28th. BSOL and GSOL. So 69 million, 47 million, 37, 47, 37. So it hasn't printed today. Let's refresh this and see if it's printed today. So no, it hasn't. So there's only 37 million that flowed in yesterday. But this is brand new, so you expect the hype. Ethereum, yesterday, 184 million left, right, on ETH. I think Richard Hart is back below his entry price, right? This was that's a lower high actually. Yeah, if ETH needs to hold on to this level of 3,675. Generally, these ETFs are inverse indicators, as retailers sell at lows and buy at tops. In fact, it's the exact opposite. Let's look quickly here. Let's go to BTC and see where the highest inflows were. So yesterday, 488 million have left. GBTC still trading the most. The day before that, 470 million. And on the day, which was that on the 28th, let's just look at this. That was that sneaky run up. Yeah, right on this candle here was the highest inflows, right at the top. There was the most was bought in recent days. And down we go. And the most is being sold down here. But there's nothing bullish just yet here. We will have to wait for these things to sort itself out. You know, and I'm in fact looking for a short here. We'll just see how high it goes. I want to short at 112k. Let's just see what it looks like here. Yeah, I'll short it back down, and hopefully that creates a nice little W, you know, so we can get out of this range and try new all-time highs at least. Or maybe it goes all the way up there. Something like that. That'll be a nice little W, so we can hit out of here. There's no bullish divergences that formed here on this V bottom, so really nothing there yet. So I mean, gambling's making the most amount of money. Most bridged in. How many was bridged in yesterday? I think I checked this out today. On how much was bridged into Pulse Chain yesterday. If someone has, I think you should get it. There are bots that look at it. But either way, it'd be interesting to see how much has flown into Pulse Chain in the recent days. Yeah, I mean, we won't be streaming too long today. Let's actually look at the Pulse Chain chart here. I think we went as low on the daily. How low did we go? We're just retesting these previous breakout levels, which is reassuring at least, you know. There's your little W, that's your breakout. Now getting rejected by it. And if we go off the line chart, it just rejected that previous breakout level. You can see the clear W here, right? Now just retesting it. Obviously you don't want to see this fall through, right? It needs to at least accumulate in this range for as long as possible. And we still have the higher lows. We plot this there, yeah, we're still holding this uptrend. If we go on the RSI, let's just see what it looks like here. Yeah, we're still holding these at least, right? The weekly is a different story. That uptrend holding beautifully. But if we check out the RSI, this is already fallen through, which isn't the best indicator there. And there's no hidden bullish divergence yet. You know, you would want to see this RSI go lower than the previous one for hidden bullish divergence, but we don't have that yet. And this, I mean, this indicator is so high still. If we plot it at how low it's been in the past, look where the price action was, all the way up here. Up here at, oh, this is the market cap. Let's go to price. Yeah, there's that downtrend failing. Look how high we were up here. That was 4,700, 4,800, and this is the exact same area where we are currently at. 4,700 again on this RSI. All the way back here, the price was as high as literally at the SAC rate, just below SAC rate, the last time the RSI was in this level. You know, the price is just trending down, and yeah, it's not great. Let's look at the top trending tokens, and I'll check out your guys' questions here. Peacock performing very well. It's interesting to see that this is the best performing meme coin on Pulse Chain, launched through, what do you call it, through pump tires. I'm pretty sure we're going to see divergences, yeah. Now, divergences are actually bullish until pivot points are taken out, and this is another new high, 78.60, 78.67, 78.62, 79. Yeah, so that was 78, yeah, so this was higher. So there's no bearish divergence through these last two. But unless we start trading below this divergence really doesn't mean anything, it's just bullish. Yeah, so we'll see if there is another push up higher. But you guys know that, I mean, this is not where value is at. We literally bought the bottom on Discord here. I've been selling halves on doubles on the way up. Let's just see how high this thing can go. Yeah, maybe all the way to 800. 800 PLS per Peacock. That's the next fib level. You can see the confluence at these levels. You know, look at the 61.8. That was the previous peak. Held it for resistance for 2 days, and then found support on it on the third day. Then broke through. Was that the actual low? Let's just make sure. Yeah, that was the actual low. This was the sign to go long on this thing here when you broke 73. This is very late now, right? The granny, she will just pull up her fib tool wherever it peaks out. You know, she'll just continue pushing this thing higher until it tops out, and then wait for at least the reload zone. Like I like waiting for a W inside of the reload zone. Like if we look at it before this new phase up, you know, if you could have started just nibbling some here at 136, I mean, that's well above a double already. And you can blindly buy these fib levels, or the granny can, you know, I'm not a financial advisor. And at 76, you would have had another nibble and waited for the 88.6. Or if she didn't want to catch a falling knife, she can just wait for that higher high and the higher low to come in. So that's the low defended. That's the high that it's made. Or that's the low. That's the high. That's the low that was defended and found resistance there. It faked you out once. So it's probably best to wait for a candle to close. Then you would have gotten it at 91 when that daily candle closed. And I mean, that's like 3 positions. 91 would give you at 182 is your first double, and then 360 would be your next one, right? Easy doubles, and then Let me just undo that. Take off the RSI. So 360, 720. So you got your third double there as well. That's how it's done, right? No need to risk chasing anything. And if you're chasing these things up here and you're getting wrecked, that's our own fault, right? Next trending coin is X on PLS. And I mean, we're in all value levels. I mean, it's at the 88.6 level. It's as dirt cheap as it comes, but I mean, there was even a daily W here. We were retesting the daily W. I mean, this is technically where we should be bullish, right? Did we have some divergences on the way down? So yeah, that's the only thing, is there weren't any divergences on the way down. Like, bottomed here and the RSI bottomed there. So no real divs. Let's look at the 3-day. Put on the line chart. It was that 39.66, 39.44, so that was lower as well. No bullish divs. That's why you need to be patient on these things and actually just wait for the W to confirm. So X game has been up the last few days, but it's taking a heavy hit, eh? Yeah, I still think it comes down to retest the previous accumulation zone, unless Firewall starts buying this up. But personally, if I was the market maker here, I would wait for these guys to get out of their positions. You know, that's the previous breakout level. That's the only W you have down here. That's the only organic W you have. So you need to wait for this to come all the way back. Lost the point of control, so it normally runs straight through these to the next one, which is here. But I mean, if you really wanted this and you've been waiting patiently to get some, you know, I wouldn't mind nibbling a small percentage here, but expecting it to go lower, right, and getting some more there. What are the indicators showing? You know, you should wait for divergences here as well. You know, it's a straight V bottom. Yeah, not just yet. Yeah, you can be very patient here. There's no way to rush these things. SCADA. Don't even know what this is. I don't know if I've seen this on the timeline. But this is as dangerous chasing something up here. Let's check out the Twitter. Yuri, nuke the supply. I'm not going to go to websites and stuff. You guys have to go check this out, but I can't chase something up there. All indicators are oversold. The 2 hour has divergences there, but I mean, that's all the way down here. No one's going to wait for it to confirm down there. PLSX. It's just holding lows here. Doesn't look bad. I mean, is that a little W there? No, we're just losing the lows here now. What's the RSI saying? So there's some hidden bullish divergence here as the indicator is lower, but price action is still higher. PLS. Just removing the Bollinger Bands here. No bull divs yet. Do we have location? I don't think we do. Yeah, not in the reload zone just yet. I don't know. This is the sprinter still ongoing. You know, just down only. Inc. Let's look at PTGC. Everybody knows. Finally, a positive day here. Have they lost these lows yet on the USD pairing? Yeah, so it poked below a few times before. it is in value, but there's no market structure here just yet. Versus PLS, it's probably outperforming. So it's forming more divergences here, but no market structure yet. So I can't pull the trigger here yet. 31.64, 32. So that's also higher on the 3-day. Getting nice and oversold. What's the weekly? Weekly has no divergences, not oversold yet. Let's look at, see where most of this volume was traded. All the way down here at 0.62. Yeah, there's no need to catch this falling knife here. You can just wait for good market structure to form, or just a W, you know, it'll look something like this. To find the drawing tool. There we go. I don't know if it goes that low. You know, wait for that W, wherever it comes in. And that's a signal to go long. It has faked you out once already on the daily. This little W here. There was even bullish divergences here, but it looks extremely heavy. But if you don't have this and you're nibbling on the way down, that's another way of doing it. You don't have to look at this chart constantly or wait for someone else to tell you that it's time to go on that thing. Is there anything else that is interesting here? Soil, Peacock, Zero Trust. It's just been silently moving up. Interesting. But I promise you this RSI is bearish, yeah. And unless it closes below that level, it's not really confirmed. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Enjoy the weekend. I will see you guys on Monday, hey. Enjoy the monthly close. Did you do EHEX? What do you want to see from EHEX? It was all the hype the other day. Yeah, it's back to range lows. So, I mean, this is kind of where you should be interested in this. Let's see if there are any bulldoves yet. No, it still has more room to go. Let's look at versus PLS. Still not in the reload zone, so still can't really look at it here. No bulldoves. Not interested yet. Yeah, lower. Unfortunately, lower for EHEX for now. It's gonna take a while. Not only on USD, but on PLS as well. And versus the other HEX, the ratio between the two. Bruh, Omar the Great. Hopefully this loads. That's lame. Hyperliquid wallet position distribution in real time. Fish, Leviathan. Bearish, the largest position sizes. These guys are still bearish on Bitcoin. So the bigger guys. That does not mean they are right, you know. You know, look at James Wynn. Just gets absolutely liquidated constantly, and he has a massive trading position. I don't know how that happens. And the rest of them are bullish. So unfortunately, if you're a bull, you're still on the side of the majority. No, come on, ETH. Come on, X, I mean. Otherwise, here we go. The two X ratios. Violent rejection. Let's see if it's in the reload zone yet. Not yet in the reload zone. Daily. Let's look at indicators. Getting oversold. No bulldoze yet. Yeah, just not interested just yet. Almost there. Versus the other hex. It's going to come back to retest this previous breakout level at least. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your weekends, eh?